Hello, everyone. This is Miss Thomas and Truffles. We are here with another book. This one is Sandy made me read it. Sandy at Ms Reads Alot. She mentioned on her channel a book called Crying in Mart. And if you want to know what I thought of that book, stay tuned. Hi, everyone. This is Miss Thomas. You are at Book Talks with Miss Thomas. This is my cat, Truffles. She is a real fan of this book, Crying in Mart, because there was a whole lot of really good food described in this book. So you probably already know about Sandy at Ms Reads Alot. She is a fantastic booktuber with a fantastic channel. And I was watching her channel, as I often do. This was a long time ago that I saw her mention on her channel Crying in Mart. And I still watch her channel, but I've been meaning to read that book for a while. She did not rave about it. She didn't say, like, you must go out and read this book. She said it was actually a little bit difficult to read because it's the story of Michelle Zauner, I think, and her mother died of cancer. And my mother died of brain cancer somewhat recently, within the last 5 years. I want to say it was shortly before the pandemic. And then my father died during the pandemic, not of COVID, but really of a broken heart after my mother died. So it took me a while. I needed some distance before I could get into this book. But she mentioned the book, and she'd said, it's the story of a girl who's struggling with her mother's cancer. And I thought, I'm going to read that as soon as I'm emotionally able, as soon as there's enough space between myself and my mom's cancer. I would like to commiserate with another person. So in this case, this woman, Michelle Zauner, I think it's Zauner, she writes a book about how her mother died of cancer. And it was stomach cancer in her case, in the mother's case. And I enjoyed this book. It was sad. It was difficult to read. But in this book, she starts out actually crying in the H Mart. She goes to the H Mart. It's like a grocery store, and there's ethnic foods there. She's Korean. Her mom is Korean and her dad is American. And so this is really a memoir, not just about her relationship with her mom, but it had a lot more to do with her feelings about her own identity growing up with an American parent and a Korean parent, and, just trying to fit somewhere in there. And then, she talks a little bit about how she resented being Korean when she was younger. And I don't know, resented is too strong of a word, but, she wanted, I guess, to look more American. And then after her mom dies, she clings to this aspect of her identity that's Korean, and she wants to cook like her mother. There's a lot about cooking and food in this book that was just very evocative. There were so many wonderful passages that described food. And she has this boyfriend that she's in love with this man, and the parents also like the man. So there's a little bit of funny stuff about when her parents meet the boyfriend. And she wants to be a musician, and her mother, of course, wants her to, go to college. And she does graduate from college, but ends up a waitress, and she, is in a band. And so the mother obviously doesn't see eye to eye with her about her choices. So there's a lot of, mother-daughter conflict there. And she's kind of gut-wrenchingly honest about some of the fights that she's had with her mother. There are some scenes where she describes fighting with her mother, and it's just so hard, so sad, and yet so very real. I mean, I think if we're honest with ourselves, I know I can identify with times that I've said horrible things to my parents that I regret, or times my own children have said things to me. And so it's just very real, these conflicts that she describes with her mother and her relationship with her mother. And she doesn't really appreciate her mother fully until her mother dies. And then she's just, racked with the grief over the loss of her mother, and she misses her, and she tries to connect with memories of her mother through cooking. And so she's in the H Mart looking for, ingredients for Korean dishes. And there were some wonderful descriptions of Korean dishes. There's also her mother's sister. She has some descriptions of her friendship with her aunt, her mother's sister. And it was just a wonderful book. It was a book about mother-daughter relationships, but it was also a lot to do with identity and what it means to be a daughter, what it means to be someone who's American, someone who's Korean. And it's also a memoir. It's a true story. And here's the author. And it says that she is a singer and guitarist, and she has some published music. So it's really a memoir about not just her music, not just her relationship with her mother, but her music career as well. So I enjoyed Crying in H Mart. I found it to be very moving, very real, and in a way, it could end up very fattening because there were a lot of descriptions of food that appealed to me. And I'm reading it thinking, yeah, I think I'm going to go eat something now. It sounds really yummy. So, all right. Thank you for listening. And like I say, if you haven't already, go check out Sandy's channel at Ms Reads Alot. And I really appreciate her mentioning this book, Crying in H Mart. Bye for now.